You should never do something like that. Here's the reason. How would you like it if you were to need somebody to perform a specific task? Okay? So you've got a job that you need to get done, and they put on their resume that they have experience with the application that gets that job done. So you hire them, and you find out that they can't do the job. You'd be pretty upset, right? That could lead to a lot of problems. So you should never lie. I know lots of people do it, but you're not going to be one of them, okay? Showing that you have experience with something that you're really not good at, that is a lie. It's basically lying. Because you know good and well that you're not real good at it. And if they were to say, if they hired you based on that and then set you in front of a computer, for example, and said, okay, go. And you were like, I can't do the job. Okay, so if you can't do it, then you should not put that you have experience with it on your resume. If you do, if you say, you stretch the truth a little bit, or out and out lie, which is really what it is, then you get hired, something comes up, and they see that you can't actually do the job. You could lose that job. That's not going to look good on your resume, right? You could get sued because you misrepresented yourself. So don't ever misrepresent yourself. Again, the goal of your resume is not to make you look like the best thing since sliced bread. It is to accurately, truthfully teach the hiring manager or the recruiter who you really are and what you're capable of doing. That way, when they look at your resume, they know, and they'll be able to sense the sincerity. If you have done what you should do, done your homework beforehand, we're going to look at that in the next slide, you will be able to address the specific needs that they have and show, here is what I am capable of doing. A lot of people, they kind of get the mentality that I can do the job. So, if they'll just hire me and put me there, I can do it. But guess what? Let's be realistic. If you really don't have out-and-out experience with it, you can't do it. Okay? And they don't have time to teach you how to do it. Here's what you got to do. If you don't have the kind of skills that you need in order to get that really good job that you really, really do want, you need to get those skills. You need to get them outside of the job. Or find a job that you can get that you can actually do and do well, and then learn the skills, get involved in it, move up. God forbid that you would actually start at the bottom and work your way up. I know you got out of college, you should just start making $150,000 a year, right? Your first job. Guess what? That's not going to happen. So if you don't have the skills, do not misrepresent yourself. When they look at that resume, every single thing on there, you should be able to stand boldly and say, I am competent and capable of everything that is on that resume. Now, that means they might read it and they might say, doesn't have the experience that we're looking for. That's perfectly fine. Do you know how much trouble people get into by getting into a job that they're really not qualified for? It's bad news, folks. You go do stuff like that. Nowadays, you can get into a lot of trouble. How humiliating would that be to, call your grandma up and say, hey, Grandma, I got that job. And, that I asked you to pray for me. I got that job, and I'm starting tomorrow. And then a week later, because it come to find out you couldn't do it, you call her up and say, hey, Grandma, can I borrow $50? I got to pay my electric bill. I don't have a job anymore. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but they could even sue you. They could, you misrepresent yourselves in some situations, and it can get outright into a legal battle because it costs them money to hire people. It costs them money to interview people. So it's a bad, nasty